Alrighty, so we are live, and as it says, we're gonna try, anyways. We're gonna try, and we're gonna say some nice things about the Shills today, because they have told me that they don't come to my channel because we always say bad things. So, since people are so damn sensitive, we're going to say some nice things about Shills today. After all, you can find something nice about anyone, and that's what we're going to do. And if anyone wants to join in on the live stream today and say some nice things about Shills, you're more than welcome to. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to wait just a couple minutes here to get more people in, and then we're going to say nice things about Shills. Nice things, guys. Very nice things. We're not going to call them losers or drunks or any of that stuff. We're going to be nice because that's what nice people do. And so I'm going to share here the Coelho has high alcohol tolerance. There you go. You're getting it, Peter. Very good, Peter. Right away. Right away. There you go. Let's see. I'm going to put the StreamYard link in the chat here. If you want to join in and help say nice things about the Shills, nice things only, you're more than welcome to. Here is the link posted in the description. I'm going to read a few comments before I get started here. Nathan Rich is good at selling drugs. Yes. Yes, he does have experience with that. Very good. Funny how you can get your channel with 5K subscribers. You have big channels to listen about what you have to say. Here's the thing. I find that the subscriber count is less relevant than the view count on your videos. Because, I mean, look at them. They've done this amazing thing where, and again, I'm being positive here. They've managed to amass so many subs, but get so little views. I mean, it must be really, it takes a super talented individual to gather so many subs and get so little views, right? That's all I'm saying, is it takes a lot of talent. I mean, how do you get like 100,000 subs and then average less than 10,000 views per video? That's difficult, right? You'd think with 100,000 you would at least get 20,000 views, but no. These amazing individuals have done less. Matt Jayo is a great tricycle rider. If it was an Olympic event, Matt would win. I said positive. You're dreaming now. I said positive. I don't know if he would win golds, but I'm sure, right? You know, to be fair, it must take some level of endurance, right, to ride that damn bike as much as that guy does. It really does. It really does. Like, let's be honest. Did I interact with Jerry Good? Jerry is he is in a WeChat group with me. We have a WeChat group, and we put it together in hopes that he would come on a live stream, and it's just never happened. You know what I mean? It's just never happened. So I don't. You know, it's very dangerous in a sense that, like I said, we're gonna get on some positive videos here in a minute, but it's very difficult to get people on the stream because some people are unaware of how nasty the pro Shills, aka the nationalists, the Wu Mao, are. If you come on my stream, they will send you like death threats, right? So someone, as an example, like Haza, he came on my stream one time, and he got like death threats or something, I think, and so he was like, "Oh, I'm not going on. I'm going to do my own thing," right? Like that happens all the time. And I'm like, I told you, motherfuckers, like all the content that we put out, like we don't make much money off of it, and we get death threats. You know what I mean? So it's like whenever you're fighting against a communist regime and they have paid people on the payroll and they've got brainwashed people, brainwashed nationalists that like attack everyone, like it's quite dangerous. You know what I mean? It's quite dangerous. So yeah. Jayo has 120K subs but averages 6,000 views a video. Right. Exactly. I mean, how could you do that? That's difficult, right? So we're gonna watch some videos of these guys here, and hopefully we can find some videos that I think are good, because I'm trying to be positive today. I woke up today and I was like, we're gonna be positive. No more negativity. So we're going to be positive today, guys, and we're going to say nice things. At least we're going to try to, anyways. So the first video, the number one thing I hate about China, from Guelo60. Guelo60. Everyone, give Guelo60 a hand. He's actually going to mention something that he dislikes about China. Of course. Like, we're not going to be fooled here. He's only doing this to seem a little less biased, which of course, we're not stupid, right? We know that you're not less biased because you just mention like one bad thing about China every 27 videos. You know, like it's you know, you're not fooling anyone. But hopefully you guys can hear it. Let's go ahead and play. And hopefully you guys can tell me how loud my voice is compared to his, but I'll try to shut up and let him talk.
Sugarcoat everything. It doesn't matter what happens in China.
Here we go.
Say it's okay. Well,
here we go.
Actually, it's not. There are some things in China that I just freaking hate, and it's not just the people of China.
Whoa.
It's
the
government that allows it.
Okay, let me turn him up.
Talking about smoking cigarettes. My God, Martha, they smoke in restaurants. You got a sign sitting up on the wall saying no smoking. And then there's a guy sitting right underneath it smoking a cigarette. And his buddy across the table smoking a cigarette. We went to dim sum the other day. And I took a video of this on my cell phone, my Huawei cell phone. I still like the Huawei better than the Apple. And I'm going to put it in this video so you know I'm not bullshitting you. But yeah, they're smoking. See, I think 42% of all cigarettes in the world are made in China. I read somewhere that between 7 and 10% of the money that the government collects on taxes comes through cigarettes. It's whack it.
Okay, so Grandpa 60 here is saying that he dislikes smoking in China. Man, what a guy. He's standing up for the health of Chinese people. And he says, you know, I don't think smoking is such a good idea. I don't think it is. What a man. See, this guy is like, he's an effing hero, man. He's standing up for all Chinese people at once, even against the government. Did you hear him? He's like, the government allows it. Did you hear it? It's the government allows it. That's what he said. And he said that he doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. What a man. What a hero. The man, the myth, the legend, Grandpa 60 has stood up against the Chinese government and said smoking is bad, right? And you know, to be fair to Grandpa 60's to his expense here of kind of laughing and joking about him, he is correct. If you go to China, smoking is like, holy shit. It's like, you know, you come from the Western world and you go to China and you realize very quickly that a high percentage of the population smokes. And it just happens to be like wherever you go, wherever you go, wherever you go. And even Coelho can't even speak English. That's horrible, man. That we're being positive, man. Positive. And he says that yeah, you know, smoking is bad, and that's true, right? Man, good old Guelo mentioning something like this. Wow, this guy is just what a great man. Drinking is not much better, says Super Turbo. You know, that's probably true. Let's be honest. You see some hellacious drinking in China too, especially from Guelo 60. You know, I remember going to Walmart in China and looking at the bottom shelf. And for those of you that have been to China, you may or may not know about the bottom shelf alcohol. And I'm talking about that big, it looks like a water jug, that big jug of alcohol. And that shit's like $1.25 American. And like you can get drunk and smashed in China for like practically free. And I remember looking at that bottle thinking, holy shit, you could intoxicate an entire army of people for less than $5, you know? And let me say this. If you've ever drank that bottom shelf from China and you open it up and you get that whiff, it's like rocket fuel. You know that you're going to have a great time. And you definitely mix that shit with something. Don't drink it straight. That's for damn sure. Because, you know, the fucking hair on your head will fall off. Although I've already reached that point in my life, apparently. But at least we've got the mighty Guelo 60 standing up against the government for smoking. What a fucking hero. Everybody, golf clap. Golf clap. No, none of that like shit that you hear at the music awards. None of that. Golf. Golf clap, guys. Golf. Okay? Yeah, it's that bottom shelf. I'm telling you, man, go into any place in China where they keep all the alcohol. Go to the bottom shelf. Got to lower your standards, man. Got to lower your standards. Okay? Now, you have different shelves. Okay? Like when I first went to China, there was this homeless guy, and he's like, hey, la wai, you know, they do that thing. They try to get your attention. La wai. And I had the Red Star. That was my first drink. That's like bottom middle of the shelf. You got to like, if you see that little Red Star on there, go lower, go down. And then once you go under the Red Star, that's your thing, right? If you don't speak any Chinese and you go to China, you go to the alcohol section, look for that Red Star. Okay, it's kind of like the star in the sky when you're lost, right? It's the same thing in China. You just find that damn star, find that Red Star, go below it, and then you will find the land of jug, of you know, wake up in your shower type shit, because that's whatever, you know. I don't know what you call it, but that's what it is. Okay. So that's the way it is. You got to go below the Red Star if you want that super cheap shit, right? Hello, Prime. A bit late to the stream. Listen, when I stream for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. You're never late to the stream, damn it. It's impossible. You cannot be late to the stream. But as I've said, we're being positive today. Guelo 60 standing up against the government for smoking. Fucking hero. What a hero. Let's check out another shill. And if you guys have any shills that you specifically want to see, let me know. And we'll play the videos. We will look for their videos. I like the expensive Baijiu. Yeah, actually. Mao Tai, if you guys like that stuff, that's pretty good, actually. Pretty good. I won't lie. A lot of people are like, nah, it's horrible. Don't drink it. It's horrible. Nah, it's horrible. Don't drink it. Get the Mao Tai. Okay, get the Mao Tai. See this shit right here? Right here, go for this. This is if you're a backpacker. So here we go. This is not your typical backpacker bullshit, okay? If you're a backpacker, you probably can't get this shit. You know that monkey abroad, that $20 a day? No. You're not getting the Mao Tai on $20 a day. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, okay? But it's pretty interesting. Not bad. Oh, God.
大家好，我是司徒建国。
Oh,
I'm
God.
in Guizhou in southwest China. Now, not only is Guizhou.
Oh, shit. We got another one of these. 大家好，我找白党派，我操烧啦啦。We got another one of these guys. It's like they feel like if they 大家好, then they like gain some kind of like their upper shelf by Joe because they 大家好. Fortunately, it doesn't work that way. No one takes your videos more serious just because you're 大家好, you know? Like it doesn't work. But we'll give them a chance.
Stunningly beautiful. It's also home to China's most famous ever drink. Mao Tai Baijiu or Mao Tai liquor, the country's national drink. It's original.
See, look, this dude's gonna speak fucking English through the whole video. That pisses me off. He starts like 大家好, and then he'll speak a little bit of Chinese, and you're like, oh, maybe this guy's legit. Maybe he actually like knows what the hell he's talking about. And then he just rants off into English for the rest of the video, and you're like, fuck, it's another Nathan Rich. It's another Nathan Rich. See, this is the problem with being positive with me. It's fucking impossible. It's just impossible, you know? Here we go. We're going back.
Originated right here in the town of Mao Tai in Guizhou, hence the name. There's a thick smell of Mao Tai in the air. Now,
there's a thick smell. I thought he was going to say urine. He should have said urine. That would have really pissed people off.
Everyone knows the iconic red and white bottle. Almost everyone in China is certainly going to try this drink throughout their lifetime. And I know it's early in the morning and you shouldn't drink first thing in the morning, but I'm going to.
Guelo drinks early in the morning. Doesn't hurt him any.
So I'm going to drink some Mao Tai. Now, there are Mao Tai distilleries all over China, but apparently the best Mao Tai comes from right here in Guizhou, and it has something to do with the water used from the Cheshui River. Right, so this is what I'm going to drink.
I like how they always say that. Like, it's about the water. It's about the water, man. You know what makes it the best? It's the water. Okay, now I'm going to tell you this. Like, for anyone that has been to China, if you've ever looked at the water, the best thing about this is probably not the water. Let's be honest. Like, people in China don't drink the water. They buy bottled water. Okay, so let's be honest here. The best thing about this shit's probably not the water. Like, that's all I'm going to say. That's like when they say that shit about, like, New York. Okay, they're like, oh, the best thing in the pizza is the water. Okay, well, maybe. It's possible, right? But this is definitely not about the water. I'm sorry. The best thing about China is not the water. Chinese people don't even drink the water. So when you tell me that, well, the best thing about this Mao Tai, well, it's the water. I'm like, what do they do? Like, filter that shit like 17 times? What do they do? Let's be honest here. I doubt it's the water.
One's coming.
我今天我嗓子不好，因为我感冒了，能听出来吗？你觉得？
哇，
观众
台上一定讲啊！哇，
我不觉得。
我不觉得哇
I can't tell.
哇哇
'Cause I've heard that Mao Tai cures colds, right?
No, it doesn't.
Where's my drink?
Fuck.
Right. Wow. So it's got a very strong smell. It's 53% in terms of volume. Now, the flavor of Mao Tai is quite hard to pin down if you've never had Baijiu before. Mao Tai is a very distinct taste. I'm just going to drink it and I'll tell you how it tastes.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Fuck that shit. Don't drink Mao Tai. No, don't. I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Like, I lied to you guys. I tried to say something positive, okay? I admit, I had this shit and I liked it, but I'm sorry. I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind. Don't try Mao Tai. Do whatever you do. Just just buy foreign alcohol and do your best to make sure that it's that it's real. Let me find something else. And speaking of like some of this like foreign, like this Chinese propaganda bullshit, let me see if I can find this. Let's look at some propaganda here that we will see. You can always find some goodies, with some propaganda. I remember there was this video. Let me see if I can find it. Probably not. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to find. I'm probably failing on. See, like that's what happens when you do shit live and you don't plan it. But then, like when you plan shit, like it sucks too. So you don't do that. Let's see. Nope, that's a major explosion in China. We don't want to show major explosions. We know why those happens. We know why that. Okay, forget it. Let's do a. Let's check out Nuance. Jayo Jayo 60's new channel. We'll check that out real quick just for fun. Basically, if you guys haven't seen yet, I'm sure you have. This is Jayo 60's new channel, which is all about serpentza, basically. In case you haven't noticed, like every video is about serpentza. It's a little strange because I realize that I make other videos, like videos about other people. Keep in mind, I make videos about other people. But Jayo makes videos. He has a whole channel just dedicated to serpentza. Think about that. He has an entire channel that is only about serpentza. Holy shit. That's like next level. That's like he's doing what I do, but he's doing it better. He has created an entire channel about a single person. A single person. Think about that. Okay? He has one-upped me. He's doing what I do better. He's doing it better than I am, man. I'm going to have to create like just a Nathan Rich channel or something. I don't know. The truth, guys. I think I found it, guys. The truth. Oh, wait. I hated this about, let's see.
Hey guys, how's it going? Matt here with another episode of Nuance. For those of you that don't know, my name's
Oh, God.
and I'm living in China. I'm south of Shanghai by...
40 minutes long. Jesus Christ, Matt. 40 minutes. Fuck. Huh, guys, fasten your fucking seatbelts. 40 minutes of this shit. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for 40 minutes of Jayo? Fuck. I don't think we're going to make it, man. We're in trouble. Prepare, everyone. Stretch. 40 minutes of this shit. Here we go.
And I'm trying to tell stories of my life here in China, honestly and objectively, to try to give you guys a little bit to adjust your opinions of the world.
Oh, God.
Hopefully add
Has
some
it been
nuance.
40 minutes yet? Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, has it been? Oh, fuck, I'm 27 seconds in. Holy shit. Oh, fuck, someone has a great idea. We can speed him up. We'll speed him up double time.
Do your ideas and thoughts of things.
Holy shit.
I hope you're having a good weekend if you're watching this on the day I recorded. And
He's moving now, guys. He's moving.
I'm not on the street or anything. I'm not in my little studio. I thought I'd do something a little bit off the cuff. Because, part of understanding the world is understanding how much it's changed. And I had a bunch of topics listed on my phone, and I found one that I could probably do in the apartment. There's a bunch of other ones that I want, but they require a couple of extra...
Holy shit.
But for now, I wanted to talk
Skip.
about things that I used to really hate about China, but living here. But having the outside so polluted that you wouldn't even want to go outside or spend time outside was really, really frustrating. Today, man, it's been amazing. Air is clean. I've traveled a lot. I've been all over China, so I've seen a lot of different places inside the interior of China, on the coast of China, and I've done that now and in the past, so I've had the ability to see the improvement in a vast swath of area around China. And I would say that the improvement in the improvement in the control of polluting factories has improved considerably. Do we still get those days in China? 100%.
Oh,
But it's
closed
gone from
caption.
I hate this about China.
All right, let's go.
You know what? It's an unfortunate reality I got to deal with.
Holy shit.
I'll take that out of the hate category and put it into another category completely. It's not something I hate about China anymore. I've seen a vast improvement in the personal behavior of the Chinese citizens over the last more than a decade. There has been a huge movement by the government to try to get people to understand.
I can't believe I didn't think about that shit years ago since knowing about this guy's videos. Holy shit. If I would have known to put him on 2 times from the very beginning, thank you. Thank you, guy in chat, for who mentioned this? Everyone fucking clap for this king. Thomas Starkey. Put him on 1.5 speed. You are a fucking legend. A legend. Put him on 1.5 speed. I wish I would have done that from the beginning. Holy shit. So, Jiao here, once again, he's another one. He's going to try to make himself sound more credible. He's like, yes, I'm more credible. Because I'm going to mention a few things that I disliked about China. Okay? And he mentioned pollution. He said that he didn't like the pollution. Well, you see, that pollution thing, it goes back to that Mao Tai, because it always does in China. It always goes back to drinking. It has to. Pollution doesn't just like go to the sky. Pollution in China also has to do with water, which they put in that Mao Tai that is supposed to be so damn awesome. So when you say, I hate the pollution in China, and we're being positive here, like I said, thanks to Jiao for telling the truth that he hates the pollution. He hates the pollution. And I agree. The pollution in China was something that really made me sad. When I lived in Guangzhou, and Chinese people would say to me, it's cloudy today. And I would say, no, it's not. There is a 0% chance of rain. There are no clouds. That is called smog, pollution. And Chinese people would say, I think you're right. And I would say, I know I am, because clouds don't look like that. And it was just so true. It was just so true. You know, Jiao here, once again, Jiao has done it. He has come out and he has told a little bit of the truth. And I appreciate that. And so I just put in the chat the StreamYard invite. If you want to come onto the StreamYard and you want to say hello, if you want to come and give your opinion and call me an asshole, you're more than welcome to. You're more than welcome to come here. Okay? In fact, I encourage it. Today because I'm having a damn good day. So I got my McDonald's cup. It's pathetic. I've been drinking out of the same McDonald's cup for 3 days. I just keep refilling it. That's right. That's how you know you've hit rock bottom in life, when you keep filling your McDonald's cup. All right. We're going to move on to the next one. We're going the Needle Rich. Holy shit. What is this? He's got a new video out. I didn't even see it. What is this? Did you guys ever find out like what this was about?
The fact is, all of these negative reports about China are completely true. If you think there's anything good about China, it's because you are a conspiracy theorist. The only good things.
Okay, we're gonna slow him down a little.
And copy the West completely is
We're gonna slow him down a little.
bad and filled with inferior people. That's because the West is right about everything. That's what I truly believe. I'm sorry I pretended that non-Western countries had the right to pursue their own death.
I can come say hi, asshole. Yes, you can. Actually, I will tell you, I usually try to keep the live streams, I usually try to keep them PG-13, but I think I've completely went over the PG-13 already. So if you want to come and say asshole, I guess you can. You know, it's okay. Here, someone said louder. Someone said, what? All right, everybody. Can you hear him?
Today, I'd like to apologize to everyone who's been watching my videos. You see, I haven't been being honest with you. Even my haircut wasn't honest. This is my real hair. I've always maintained that the way some Western outlets portray China is often misleading, false, or biased. However, the fact is, all of these negative reports about China are completely true. If you think there is anything good about China, it's because you are a conspiracy theorist. The only good things in the world are in the West, and every country which doesn't bow to the will of the West and copy the West completely is inherently bad and filled with inferior people. That's because
Does anyone have any idea what the hell he's on about? Like, what is he? We're gonna add Peter in here, I guess, so he can say asshole. Did Peter? Oh, he wanted to come and say hi. Sorry, I thought you were one of the people that wanted to come and say asshole. I mean, I guess if you want to say asshole, you can. But
hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's actually midnight where I'm at.
Oh, where are you
I'm
at?
tired. Yeah, so I was supposed to call you an asshole, right?
If you want, man, that's perfectly fine. You
No,
know,
not really. You know, this. I think this video that Nathan Rich has put up is like some kind of. I think he's trying to twist the kind of. You know, the attacks by like serpentza and sea milk, and he's trying to like mock them. And you know, it's like a disinformation tactic. That's what it looks to me like.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of like, I don't get it. Like, what is he doing?
No, it's
Sometimes
like,
I think he's lost his mind. Sometimes, you know, I'm like, what's wrong with this guy?
no, basically, I think is that, you know, because we have like, you know, those, I would say, anti-China YouTubers accusing China of various things that, you know, that he's being forced and he's, you know, if he doesn't say this or that, he's going to get kidnapped. So he's just like making a video to mock this. You know how people mock certain things, trying to kind of show that they're not happening to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been happening a lot lately, actually. You know,
I don't know, to be honest. Like, I've seen a couple of his videos, and I can't stand the guy.
yeah, you know, like I feel like some of his older videos, he's had a few videos where I was like, damn, that was pretty good. But like recently, like it's been pretty shit. Like I will give Nathan Rich some credit here. If you guys haven't seen his video against like China Uncensored, I was like, damn, like China Uncensored got like fucking exposed. But like the rest of his videos, it's just been he's really fallen off. Like how many views has he been getting recently? Like 40K, 60K?
Yeah, they're all fake. They're all bots.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, even the fucking bots are tired. Like they've built him up to 500K subs, and they're like, "We're gonna give you 50K, Nathan. That's all you're getting. This week is 50K." Like think about
you
that.
can actually you can go into the comment section. You can click on random people, and you will see that they have like new accounts, and you can also see which other channels they joined, right? And pretty much all the bots have joined the same shill channels, which is like Cyrus Jansen, Jayo, you know what I mean? New China TV.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like I love how like they think that they're fooling people and like people don't know it, but it's like everyone knows and sees what's going on. Like we can all tell, you know.
Can I be honest? Actually, before I went to China, I didn't know shit about China. I mean, besides like Jackie Chan movies, which wasn't even mainland China, but
me too.
like I remember myself before China. China for me was like literally an unknown, right? And I didn't care about communism, or I didn't care about, you know, propaganda. And you probably would have fooled me, right? Before I had been, but now obviously after living there for so many years, it's kind of difficult to fool me again. So now I know it's bullshit. But dude, I mean, these guys know what's up. They know what's up. I don't believe that they're like ignorant or innocent or something. They, you know,
it's so funny that like you mentioned that, because like that's exactly how I was. Like I grew up like loving Jackie Chan and like the martial arts and all that stuff. So like I assumed that that's what China would be. And then when I went to China, like it was nothing like that. Of course,
you know what's funny is that I was in love with kung fu movies, like Legend of the Drunken Master 1, Legend of the Drunken Master 2. You know, those classic, like what was that movie where he was I forgot. He had a bunch of movies with this American white guy who was really like fast. No, he wasn't American. Meals on Wheels, I think it was called. Yeah, so I was into Jackie Chan movies, and when I went to China, I actually went to visit the Shaolin. You know, Shaolin, the not the temple, but the resort. It was in some place called Dongguan, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really disappointed because Shaolin was like loaded with fake monks and like people selling stuff, and it was just bullshit. And you know what? I think I paid like something like 300 renminbi, so basically we visited basically the Shaolin temple, which was all like none of it was traditional. It was just new buildings. You could see that it was remodeled and repainted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And say like sales clerks everywhere, you know, trying to sell you like those like traditional necklaces and stuff. So I was really really disappointed. I was really really disappointed because you know I thought Shaolin would be like this mystical, mysterious place where you know one learns kung fu.
Isn't it how like it's a disappointment how like when you were younger you like fell in love with Hong Kong and you thought that it was all of China, and then you go to China and you realize that it was Hong Kong that you liked, and you're like, oh shit.
See,
like
that's the thing. So imagine how many people haven't been to China, right? And you know that, you know, for a fact, if you go to China for like a week on vacation, you can't discover anything. I mean, I lived there, you know, I moved from city to city. So, you know, I know people who have been to China, you know, on those like 2 weeks, like 2 week packages, you know, they see the Great Wall or whatever. And I don't think you can discover China in 2 weeks. It's complicated, I think. So I think this propaganda works. It works on some people. I'm sure it does. Otherwise, they wouldn't be investing like $6 billion per year.
Sure. Of course it does. It has to work, right? You do see some people that you do see some Westerners that have fallen for it, right? I mean, just look at them. Like that's what the Shills are. There are Westerners that have fallen for it, right?
Listen,
If
I've had this idea, right? If I wanted to be the perfect shill, I mean, there are a couple things which, for example, when I compare China to, let's say, the US, I mean, looking at the US now with this, you know, Black Lives Matter and all this, like the elections and stuff. And, you know, sometimes, and I have those thoughts, they do cross my mind that sometimes, you know, it seems that people kind of need to be controlled. I mean, if you look at, you know, the state of America today, I don't know if you know what I mean. Like, you know, I think Socrates said that, you know, the best thing about democracy is that everybody can vote, but the worst thing about democracy is that everybody can vote.
You sound like Jackie Chan now. That's what Jackie Chan said about China. He's like, well, some people need
No, but what I'm trying to say is I've had thoughts, you know, while living in China, I was like, okay, you know, the government is a piece of shit. You know, they're putting people, whatever, well, now in camps, and they're, you know, censoring the internet. But it's like at the same time, you know, you have so many fucking crazy, stupid people with, you know, leftist ideas, you know, and you're like, at least you don't see that bullshit in China. You know what I mean?
Right. No, of course not. It's just like
it has benefits. So I don't want to be like, so you said today we have to be positive, right? That was your idea. Right. So, you know, China has some positive things. Like, for example, you know, this is the thing that I don't like about Canada is like now pretty much everything is the fault of the white man, pretty much, you know, white privilege and all this bullshit. I don't know where this stuff is coming from and, you know, who's instigating this stuff. But I mean, if you go to China, it's like you can make a racist joke and, you know, that's it. There's no backlash. You know what I mean?
Sure, definitely, of course.
And I kind of miss that. I kind of miss the fact that society is more, I don't know if control is the right word, but I just feel like America has gone off the rails when it comes to this social justice.
Definitely. Like it's insanity. Like, did you hear how like they banned like Pepe Le Pew from the next Space Jam movie?
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's like who cares about something so insignificant?
And I think they wanted to cancel Sean Connery after he died because he was like a chauvinist icon. You know what I mean? It's nuts. So I mean, those kind of things will never happen in China under a communist regime. You know what I mean? Like, so China has benefits, and you know, if I were a shill, I would sell it. You know, I would use that angle to sell China.
I think that's the thing is I feel like a lot of the shills they kind of even suck at shilling. Like if I wanted to create another like secret account and I wanted to like go against America, I feel like I could do way better than a lot of these guys. You know, I really do. But like,
exactly,
I just wouldn't do it. But I feel like I could. I feel like
be honest. If they offered you like $10 million, you would do it. Just be honest. I would.
I don't know. It depends.
$10 million.
It depends on what they want me to say. If they want me to point out truths, then
no, they want you to. You know, they want you to run around China. You know, taking fucking videos of you know you drinking beer with locals and stuff. You know, like pretty much Jayo is doing, and Nathan Rich is doing. I mean, come on, for $1 million, you'd do it. I would do it, dude. I would do it.
I wouldn't lie. I just wouldn't lie.
I would know the truth. I would know what's up, and I would do it willingly. I would probably feel guilty, but $1 million is a pretty good way to forget guilt,
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like for $1 million, I wouldn't turn against my own country. I wouldn't do that.
Like, here's another thing, right? I thought about, like, when I started watching YouTube, about China, like serpentza was like this first YouTuber, and I think now he's pretty big. I don't know how many followers he has, but I think he has like what, 500,000? How many does he have?
I don't know, like a lot, I'm sure.
Don't you think that being that big, he gets some kind of like groups that are, because I mean, a lot of people are pissed at China. Don't you think he gets some kind of groups calling him and like trying to push some ideology or finance him or stuff? I'm sure he must be getting some offers like that.
I'm sure he has, but he doesn't. And that's the other thing is even I have had groups that contact me and they're like, hey, like, would you be on our show? And blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, no, it's the same thing. Like if Falun Gong, like if FLG, they wanted me to be on their show, I just wouldn't do it.
But you know what? I researched Falun Gong a little bit, and these guys are a bit dodgy though. Let's say that, I think that we don't know half the story. I mean, Falun Gong, has some good, benefits, and it's kind of meditation and stuff. But their organization does feel a little bit like a cult. You know what I mean? It does feel strange a little bit.
Sure, of course.
So I don't know how transparent they are. So Falun Gong is pretty much like I'd say the worst group to associate with. But I mean, if the U.S. government contacted you, for example, to be like to increase your channel and be more anti-China because of you'd do it, right? I mean,
to be more anti-China.
They would finance you. They would support you with bots and I don't know, a whole team of journalists to make better content. I mean, you'd do it, right?
For bots and things, no, I definitely wouldn't. The difference between my channel and the Shills channel is that everyone that is subscribed to my channel or any view has always been a legit view. It's always been a legit subscription. I've never paid for anyone to sub or paid for anyone to do anything. Now, if they wanted to put me on TV or something and have me say things, as long as I agreed with it, sure, then I would say it. But I definitely wouldn't say things that they wanted me to say that I didn't agree with. I just wouldn't do it. In the end,
in a certain sense, I kind of understand these guys. I mean, look at Nathan. I mean, I think the guy was he was like, I don't know if he was convicted, arrested for like selling drugs and vandalism or something. I don't remember exactly his story.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I get the guy. I mean, he was probably a nobody in the United States. He didn't have a good job. He didn't have a good career. He was, selling drugs and just probably smoking weed all day. I mean, he looks to me like a weed smoker, So he kind of went to China and he realized that, he has this whole life over there. And you know how Chinese people see us. I mean, I'll tell you a story quickly. I remember once I was at some party and these Chinese people were like, "Oh, Peter, you look like Tom Cruise." I'm like, "What? I don't fucking look like Tom Cruise." Because you know how we can't tell Asians apart? I feel like they can't tell us apart. So even though Nathan Rich to us looks kind of dodgy, I think to them he looks like a generic white guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that he's very smart. Actually, I think Nathan Rich is quite a bit smarter in certain ways than people give him credit for. I think he's very manipulative. I think he knows how to say what Chinese people want to hear. But I don't think he's smart enough to say things that Westerners want to hear to get a Western following. I think it only works for Chinese people.
But what about this guy? Because for me, Nathan Rich is like, I would say he's on like an average level. But I mean, there is a guy who I think is like literally sponsored by the CCP, this Cyrus Jansen guy. I think he's getting like a big, paycheck from the CCP.
Again, he
seems to have like a really big channel. He seems to have like a news team.
He's another good talker that knows how to fool people. He stands there in his suit and he talks. He's like, he tries to sound like he's really smart and that works, right?
Yeah, but it just seems like he has a bigger budget than Nathan, if you know what I mean.
I don't think Nathan. I think Nathan like gets help in things, but like I don't think like he gets that much help. Let's be honest. Like the dude films in his fucking living room in front of his couch.
But here's the question though: what is like the origin story of these shills? I mean, it's like they come to China, they go parties, they drink Tsingdaos, they go eat those Shaokaos, you know what I mean? They just party and stuff. And like one day they get approached. I mean, how does that work? I mean, why these guys? And why not, because I mean, in China you have thousands of foreigners, right? Why do these guys get chosen? I mean, do they seek it out or they just get picked?
Well, I think it's a, there's a lot of different ways, especially for like people on YouTube now. Like even I was contacted a long time ago when my channel only had like 1,100 subs. I was contacted to go to a trip to Hainan. And so I was like, hey, do you want to go on a trip to Hainan? And I was like, maybe, and then they sent me
You were contacted
schedule.
in the US or you were contacted while living in China?
While living in China. Okay. And they were like, hey, we'll send you the schedule. And I looked at the schedule and it was from like 7 in the morning until like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, that's a little crazy. And they wanted me to film like certain places and do certain things. And it was just too much. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't want to be a part of some like group, So I didn't do it. And here's the other thing. Like, if you speak Chinese, you're probably going to be in these WeChat groups. Well, even if you don't speak Chinese, you're going to have these on WeChat. There's these agent groups too for like white monkey jobs and things, and they pick people out of those groups to do things for them. So, do I think that like they're special or something? No, I just think that they're doing the same thing that we all did before a long time ago in China.
On the topic of white monkeys, just quickly, I wanted to tell you something really funny. While living in China, one of my friends got contacted by this guy who needed a fake DJ. So my friend was literally just standing behind a DJ station, pretending he was DJing the whole night, and they were paying him for that.
I mean, that stuff happens all the time, though. Like it's the same thing. Like I had this thing where like they wanted to pay me to like be a chef or something, and I was just like, no, I'm not gonna be a chef. They want to take the fat guy and like dress him up as a chef. And they're like, no, you don't have to do any of the cooking or anything. You just have to mix some bowls and then pull the stuff out of the oven, and like it'll already be done and finished. And then you just claim that you made it basically, and that for our company that you helped create the recipes and shit. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Like that's really weird, because you see it happen all the time where like a product comes out in China and it sucks and it's fake and it's bullshit. And then it kind of falls back on the foreigner that was like, well, I was just a white monkey, So I was like, nah.
I have a very interesting question. Is that what do you think is the end game for these shills? I mean, right now we're in this kind of like Cold War with China. I mean, Cold War II. I don't know officially or unofficially. I mean, China's pissing off India. It's pissing off Taiwan. I think Myanmar started having issues with China. I think everybody's pissed at China. So, I mean, I just feel like we're gonna get into this like official Cold War II state, like with the Soviet Union, right? And then what's gonna happen to these guys, upon returning home? What is Nathan gonna tell his government? You know what I mean?
I think that's the thing is I think that they hope that I think they assume that they will somehow become integrated and that they will be accepted among China and its people and the government. When that doesn't work that way, but that's what they assume.
If you're not Chinese, they'll never accept you.
Right. But that's what they want. That's what they think will happen. They don't understand that like even the Chinese government is very like based around ethnicity and stuff,
So that's the thing. So like, do you think that in the future, I know perhaps in 10 years and 20 years, I don't know if Beijing, will actually make a move against Taiwan, but I mean, let's say that World War III does start or Cold War II does start. I mean, don't you think that these guys eventually will, pay for shilling? I mean, don't you think?
I think eventually their value will wear off and that people will realize that even without war, they're not valuable at all. And, they'll just be like, they'll be worthless and that will be it.
And, you can open the Treason Act. There is every country has a Treason Act, and you can actually read the exact like law. And it says that if any individual aiding a foreign government during a state of war is considered a traitor, and it's like it's like you get years of prison for it. I don't know exactly how many years.
No, I
wonder, these guys, if politically, we get into this kind of like difficult situation. I mean, aren't these guys going to get trialed or at least punished?
Wouldn't that be a nice thing? Wouldn't that be like the fair thing to do? That's the thing is I think that they're also under the impression that because you have freedom of speech that it just means that you can just go to another country and somehow like I feel like this. Imagine if, let's say, like, well, where are you from, Peter? Like, if you don't mind me asking, like,
Yeah,
where?
I'm from Montreal, Canada, but my parents are Polish.
Okay, so I mean, either way, it would be the same. I mean, you'll understand, of course, the ideas of, like, what if you or I would, of course, went to, like, the Middle East or something, and we joined the Taliban, right? And even though, like, we just did advertising for the Taliban, we didn't go around killing people, but we did things with the Taliban. I think our governments would likely frown upon that, and then after we tried to come back, they would probably kind of question us what our involvement was with the Taliban, if they seen us, like, advertising for the Taliban on, like, Twitter and Facebook and places like that, and being in videos and being like, hey, the Taliban's not so bad. I mean, look at this, guys. This is awesome. Like, your government might question it, and
But some people did lose their citizenships over like there was this girl, I think, or this guy in the UK who joined the Taliban, and then upon returning to the UK, I mean, they lost their passports. They got denied, and I don't remember exactly who they were, but
Right,
yeah, I
so-
mean, I get you, but it's like,
So why isn't
I
it
just-
happening with CCP, you think? Even though we know for a fact that CCP does a lot of things that, they do
but
a
that's
lot
the
of
thing. I
overtime.
just feel like the West has become, like, the West, by the West I mean America, has
Mhm.
become kind of weak. I just feel like this whole social justice, it's like there has to be a middle ground. I mean, you can't just, freedom. Okay, freedom is freedom, but you can't just allow anything.
Mhm.
It's like, sure, okay, freedom is freedom, but you can't just take like 500,000 refugees from Saudi Arabia and then be shocked that you have terrorist attacks. It's like, I feel like America is trapped in this kind of cycle that it's like, okay, let's have more freedom, let's invite more Muslims. Then they start getting terrorist attacks. Instead of, let's say, decreasing the amount of Muslims, they just kind of explain the fact, okay, that some of them are terrorists, but most of them are good. It's like they're trying to kind of like push the goalpost and trying to make acceptance a kind of general thing and accept more and more things, but eventually you accept so many things that it kind of weakens your control, your power, you know what I mean? So these shills coming from these governments that have a lot of freedom, they just feel like, oh, my government is so free and we have laws that whatever I do, somehow I'll be able to get out of it scot-free, you know what I mean? It's like it creates this impression, kind of.
Sure. Hang on one second. I'm going to invite this other guy in here. He's been kind of waiting a while. We'll see what he has to say. And hopefully he doesn't just like fart in the wind, and that will be it. Okay. Mr. Mattis.
Hey, man.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's actually kind of late out here, but man, I love your channel. I love what you do. Appreciate it.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
From the UK.
Oh, you're from the UK. That's awesome, dude. I don't know what it is with, like, me and people from the UK. Like, people from the UK, I get along with really well. Unfortunately, like, people from Canada, for whatever reason, like, Canadians just hate me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm like, UK people, unite,
Yes.
UK, my UK friends.
UK brothers rise up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
You're checking out Nathan Rich on this one. Yes,
yeah,
the mother of all shills.
Yeah, and it's partially a joke. I love Canadian people too. I'm just poking fun, but
yeah,
no,
I get you.
Yeah, no, Nathan Rich for sure. Like, what do you think about Nathan Rich and his channel and those types of things? Dude, it's just a laugh, right?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Shit.
Yeah, this guy, man, it's just the most insufferable person I've seen. It's like, bro, you can tell it's just pandering to Chinese, like, nationalist boomer people, basically.
Yeah, of course. He's always like, I like how he always does this thing where he always goes after mainstream media. He's always like the BBC, or
The Western
MSNBC,
media.
the Western media. And then, like, anytime he tries to prove a point, he uses the Western media. It's like, aren't you using our articles, like, to prove your point? He's like, everything they say is not true.
Yeah,
and then he shows you a BBC article to prove his point. You're like, wait a minute, you can't do that,
It's actually so strange with these shills, because the thing is, at least in the BBC, because that's what I've seen the most, is that they actually even like pirate what the CCP wants to hear as well. Like, look at this thing that China's done with alleviating like poverty. Look at this green technology strategy, and they buy it. Like, they don't try to disprove it, but that never comes up on these Shills channels. They just like, yeah, whatever, we'll take it.
Yeah, it's always like it's always the propaganda too. Like whatever the propaganda at that time is, it's like it was like when all the flooding and stuff was happening, and they were like, "No, we're not having any issues feeding our people. Like everything's just wonderful here." And then all of a sudden, like shills are like flying to like different places, and it's like, what's going on?
Oh, so that was what the I Chongqing Three Gorges Dam thing was. I didn't get that before. Yeah,
it was all like, no, this is completely random. And perhaps for the shills it was, because like maybe they weren't smart enough to figure it out, but like, they're like, let's just send them all to a certain area and they'll never know.
Yeah, the most hilarious thing was because I've watched like the ADV guys, serpentza Lao 86 for like 2 years or so now. When I saw they made the thing about the Three Gorges Dam on their podcast, all those shills finally started talking about it. That was actually hilarious. Like they actually finally started paying attention to it once people knew that they were catching on to them.
Like I feel like they had this really dumb idea that they would just go do all this shilling and stuff and that nobody will ever notice. Like, have you ever, like, I don't know if you use TikTok ever, maybe you don't, but there's these videos where it's like, they'll never know. They'll never know. And then it shows like that's how these guys are. It's like, no, the world will never know. It's like, dude, like we're not stupid, Like especially for people that have lived there, that have lived in China before. Because I had these offers too, and I just didn't do them because I always thought they were really petty. They always want you to do something really petty. They're like, you got to stand in front of this sign and bake cookies, and you're like, I don't want to bake cookies, damn it, It's just like, it's always something really petty. I don't know.
It's so funny how much of a different world it is because at least where I'm from, no one really bats an eye if you look different. In China, like you do anything and you're admired if you're a foreigner, because I guess that's how rare you are if you're at least in the eastern regions or whatever, because that's just so homogenous.
That's the thing, and a lot of the people, like, that's their stick in China is they want to be admired. Like they really want to be admired. I've noticed a lot of them. Like here, I will play this. I was talking with my group about this earlier. The Nuance guy, or however you pronounce his name.
Conversation with a cop. That was amazing.
I think.
Where's the guy?
And to be straightforward with people here, I've only seen a couple of this guy's videos. I don't watch his videos ever, but I think this is maybe the second or third one I've ever seen. But his evidence against the Uyghur camps in Xinjiang is to go and ask a police officer where the camps are. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
if anything, it's literally just belittling their audiences. They think you're actually that dumb that an actual police officer that's going to be seen on a video is going to say, if they actually know the truth, they're not going to say no. The government is just going to track it back, get them in trouble, get them jailed or something.
Yeah, sir, step into my police car. I'll drive you right there. We'll just go right there. Let's go hang out right now.
Bruh.
Like, here.
Where is this open air prison? That open air prison thing. I just creating an alternative. You're deceiving. I don't know. Okay, there is a police officer here. So there are some police officers.
Ooh, police officer.
But they're not like stopping anyone. They're not trying to look.
He's stalking his prey. He's found him.
你好，你好。我可不可以问你，最近有没有什么问题？这个地方有问题吗？就是没有发生什么事。OK， 因为你是警察，所以就想问一下。
I want to start by saying that it's funny because like he's He's from, I guess he's Canadian, right? Chinese Canadian guy, and it's really strange to me because his Chinese is like really horrible, which shocked me because I thought that his Chinese would be really good, but actually his Chinese is really bad for a Chinese person. But I guess that happens, right? There's a lot of American-born Chinese too that don't speak any Chinese, so at least he's trying, right? But it was just kind of funny to me how bad his Chinese is. And so you can see him. He asks the police if there's any problems, blah, 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 blah. And the cop kind of looks at him like, who in the fuck are you? Like, I'm the police. Why are you asking me if there's any problems here? You know, it's really fucking cringe. Like, it's just so cringe.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious that I don't even know like any Chinese at all, and I can already tell that his accent's like terrible.
我讲英文 Yeah, hello.
This guy Shill, or is this a joke?
So this is Nuance. You can find his channel. Just type it in, and I guess, like I said, I think he's Canadian, Chinese-born Canadian, Canadian-born Chinese, however you want to say it. And he went back to China, and his whole, like, he's having this identity crisis, and you can really tell because he's like, he doesn't speak very good Chinese, and he's like asking the police, you know, where the Xinjiang camps are and if they're having any issues, and he's like, yeah, I'm Canadian, and they're looking at him like, no, you're not, because like that's, you know what I mean, like, unfortunately,
but is he anti-China or pro-China?
So he's trying to be really pro-China, right? He's one of those ethnically, you know, Han people that were born in the Western world, essentially.
But is he trying to prove? Is he trying to prove that there are no camps? I mean, is that what he's doing?
Right. He's trying to walk around in the middle of the city and say, where are the camps? And then he's asking the police where the camps are, and they're kind of just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, are you retarded? You know? And so it's hilarious because it's like, this doesn't prove anything. You know what I mean? It's just like, have you seen a prison at all in China? Like, they don't put the prison in the city center, like right in the middle of the city. There's a prison. Like, they don't do that in China. You know, they put that shit like way far away. So it's just like, it's just hilarious.
I noticed that in China that they follow this need to know basis philosophy. Like, they don't tell people ever. You know what I mean? Like, they don't share their plans with people. It's like, probably this guy doesn't even know there are camps in Xinjiang. This cop.
Right. You know, that's the thing is like, he's just a regular police officer. Like, what makes you think that this guy's going to know where the camps are anyways? You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it's like this guy's not going to know. Why would this guy know? And then it's just like he expects to prove something is non-existent by walking around in a certain area. It would be like me walking around in the nicest area of Chicago and saying that gangs don't exist in Chicago because I'm walking around in a shopping district, you know? It's like, it doesn't prove anything. And it's just hilarious because this is another case of like, when you look at a lot of the shills, you realize very quickly that like these people are having identity crisis, you know? Like, this is a guy that probably wasn't accepted in Canada very well or couldn't fit in or whatever, probably didn't have very many friends. And then he all of a sudden like decided that he's going to just, you know, become really pro-China and fight against the West. And now he's obviously there. You can tell he struggles with Chinese, and he struggles to obviously make friends there too, obviously. So
but I had a friend from Canada who was Chinese, and he said that when he went to China, they didn't accept him, even though he was like ethnically Chinese. They didn't accept him.
Right, of course, you know, of course. And that's the thing is like, it's just like, if you go back to China and you don't speak amazing Chinese, like perfectly fluent Chinese, you don't have a Chinese name and all that shit, like, they talk about you, man. They talk bad about you and all this stuff, you know.
But it's not that. He told me that because my friend, like, he's Chinese, ethnically Chinese. He speaks perfect Chinese. He went to Chinese school in Canada. And he said that Chinese people called him a traitor.
Yeah, of course. You know, like, Chinese people that are born in other countries and go back to travel to China to visit family, they have a hard time, you know. They really do. They get made fun of and talked about and things like that, and it's really strange, you know. Let's see. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, so if anyone else wants to come on and talk, I just figured I would show the Nuance guy with his video of since he proved us all wrong about Uyghur camps by walking around in the middle of the city. You know, maybe there's someone else that can add to it. Let's check on the next shill, Barrett. Our favorites, our favorite Brits. These guys are just they're wonderful. What, you know, I don't understand. Like, what's with Barrett's and like hanging out with old people? It's kind of strange. Like, I'm gonna turn off the sound here because the sound is not very important. But like, Why are they always hanging out with old people? I don't get it. Like they're like, oh, the older the better. Like there's some guy in the background. He's like 148 years old. It's like, oh yeah. Like, what is it with these guys? You
I
know?
just feel like it's easier to convince older people than younger people, because younger people, they have options, right? They party, they travel, and older people, they're still stuck in that 60s mentality. So perhaps they're easy to convince. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's just hilarious because I don't understand. Like, they're always like hanging out with old people.
Jackie Chan movie.
I remember like in their vegetable dancing video, Ollie Barrett was like, "This guy's awesome. He's like 157 years old. And he knows how to use a phone." I'm like, settle down, dude. Like, we understand that he's old. There's no reason to like try to like make it sound like he's really cool because he's old. You know. It was just really weird to me.
This is his oppression video, right? About how can Chinese people have any fun?
Yeah, right.
It's so bad because everyone knows that you can't comment on that whether you think that Chinese people are oppressed, because you don't speak Chinese. You haven't had conversations with actual people about it. You just have to take the word of some state news. It's like that's not a person you don't want to represent yourself. If you don't know Chinese, you're not going to have an actual response because you haven't talked to people about it. You haven't talked to people about whether they think their life sucks or whether their life is great. You just don't know.
I feel like it's really difficult to ask Chinese people to be like, "Hey, does your life suck? And if so, tell us why." You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
But can I be honest though? Those older folks. I mean, I don't know. During my time in China, I actually noticed that older people were way happier in China. I mean, they were dancing in the park, they were playing mahjong. You know what I mean? Like, if you go to Canada and you look at old people, they're either in senior homes and they're lonely, with, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like older folks have have a better social life in China. So at least that's what I noticed while living there. So I don't know if you have seen, if you have come to the same conclusion.
I think it depends on how old. I think the people that you see in the parks and things like that are the people that are not nursing home bound. They're not at that point yet.
Like 60, 55.
Like I'm not going to say that like there's no 85-year-olds out there, but most of them are not 85 years old. You know what I mean? Oh God.
But I mean, it's like have you ever seen like old people gathering together to dance, like in America or in Canada? Even in Poland, you don't see that. So I don't. I just feel like if you're a 65-year-old retired person, I think China is way more accepting of being old. Versus,
I don't know, man. You hang out with my dad. My dad dance circles around you. I guarantee it. My dad's like 70 something.
I know, but does he have like a big social circle, like of people he goes dancing with? And
hell yeah, my dad's in a fucking band. My dad plays drums. My dad does all kinds of shit. My dad goes out to karaoke. My dad does a bunch of shit. My dad goes out every Friday, Saturday night. Like, he go out rain, sleet, or snow. So I think it depends on the person, really. I just I don't know. I think it depends on the person. And again, I think that a lot of the people you see in the parks, like they're not nursing home bound yet, So it's only normal that they do something, And it's kind of hard to stay inside your apartment and do things in China all the time. Whereas if kind of in the West, we usually have more space inside of our homes, and things like that. And in my opinion, Western houses are more comfortable inside, But that's just my opinion, really.
Well, I mean, let's say the workmanship is definitely better.
And so, Haley, you're here? What do you have to say? Anything?
Nope. Actually, I have two things I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, first thing is, I don't know if anyone else has heard. If a foreigner wanted to come back to China, generally they would need that PU letter. But now they've added another requirement, which is you need to be vaccinated beforehand. But it can't just be any vaccine. It needs to be the Chinese vaccine.
Ooh.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
You mean for COVID?
Sorry?
Yeah.
COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, for COVID. Yeah.
So if you receive the Western vaccine, let's say from Pfizer, and so you have to get it a second time.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But even,
Okay.
for example, in my country of Australia, we didn't import the Sinopharm vaccine. We're only doing the I think we're doing the Pfizer and maybe the AstraZeneca one. We're not taking the Sinopharm one. So that would mean any foreigners from Australia that wanted to go back to China wouldn't be able to, because we wouldn't have the Chinese vaccine for them. They'd have to go, I don't know, to another country to get it or something before going to China.
Right. Yeah, I definitely heard that too. I seen it on a few official websites. You know, even of even HAZA, I believe, had shared that information too. So probably true, right? Where you have to have the Sino vaccine, which I don't even think you can get it here in America. I don't know if you can. So
Wait, just one thing, guys. I'm just curious about this. You know, when people travel to China, I mean, as you know, as you've like lived in China, you've been there and all that. When do you think that the stigma of like foreigners like carrying COVID and spreading it among the Chinese people when will that like end? Because I don't think there's an end in sight for that.
when the Chinese government stops blaming foreigners for it. So never, you know. Here's the thing, like just recently, I don't want to say too much because I'm trying to get the person on for a live stream. So they are in China now and they're contemplating leaving. And they said that there has been multiple times where the government has sent in their health agency and tested all the foreigners, you know, at their school, because they believe that it is foreigners in a certain part of China that are spreading the COVID there. They don't think that it could come from Chinese people. It has to be from foreigners. And so, yeah, perhaps this is the other reason that they have asked for the Sino vaccine, is because now they can kind of control and be more hands-on about who has had it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, makes sense.
The second thing I wanted to say was I actually wanted to promote my own YouTube channel. So I've started my own YouTube channel, which is basically looking at women's issues in China and also issues affecting expat women in China. So if you're interested in that, I will put the link.
But could you give like a description of the issues? Like, were you talking like safety or?
Things like gender discrimination in employment in China. Recently, there was the 2 sessions that happened this month, which the 2 sessions is that little political gathering that they do in Beijing once a year to talk about, you know, what policies that they want to adapt for the coming years. And I just looked at a couple of women's issues that they talked about in the 2 sessions. A video that I'm working on now is about yellow fever, and not the mosquito yellow fever, the dating yellow fever, and how that affects foreign women in China, and how it affects especially Asian ethnic women, like foreign women. So, for example, ABCs, American-born Chinese women, that might go to China.
So I mean, when you say yellow fever, you mean the whole sexual, you know?
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole preference for Asian women by Western men. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe in yellow fever though. You know, sometimes you want Asian, sometimes you want blonde. It's completely random in men. Yellow fever is a myth, at least according to me.
Yeah, if you want to type your channel in the private chat over there, I'll type it into my channel's chat so that people can actually see it and go ahead and go find you.
I'll give you the link. I don't think it's searchable at the moment because it doesn't have enough subscribers, apparently.
Yeah, make sure you put your own channel name in your tags on your videos, at least in the beginning. That way, you know, you can get found. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get that link, Corey?
Yep, sure did. I posted it. If you guys want to check out her channel, go ahead and check it out. For those people that don't know, actually Haley helps a lot with videos, and keeping up on content and things. So she's very important to my channel, at least. So if you want to check her channel out, if you're a female, which is probably less than 1% of you, because my channel just doesn't have any female viewers. But either way, maybe some of you guys could learn something, and maybe you'll understand what it's like to be a woman in China. I'm sure there are some difficulties, and there are some good things too. So
yeah.
Yes.
I personally didn't have any difficulties. I didn't get Chinese men throwing themselves at me, mostly because I wasn't Russian.
Those Russian women. Those Russian women are like, they're all like super thin, super athletic, super blonde, super blue-eyed. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
They're 30. After 35, they explode. They get fat. Trust me.
It's like, what's going on here? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mainly just.
So I'll post a link to that Chinese vaccine thingo that I saw on my WeChat. I don't know if you'll be able to.
It's going to be like they're going to run out of people to blame. Actually, you would think. So let me see if I can find your channel and put it up on the screen here instead of putting this up there. So you really don't search. You're killing me. You're killing me. Let's see the newest fashion trend in China. Let me see. Oh, I failed.
Yeah.
The newest. There we go. All right. So this is your channel. I'm going to leave it muted. So maybe you can kind of tell us about this video, what this video is about, basically, real quick here.
Okay. So this is basically just like some random fashion trend that came about recently on Chinese social media. There was one that they had like a while ago, which was Chinese women would try to show off how thin they were by putting a piece of A4 paper against their bodies, like to show that their waist was thinner than an A4 piece of paper, like, and so this is the new one where they try to squeeze themselves into children's t-shirts, just to show again how thin that they are. And this usually they do it at Uniqlo. I don't know why Uniqlo, but it was a popular choice to do this. They just go into the changing rooms with kids' t-shirts and put them on, take photos, and then just leave. And yeah, apparently the staff would get pissed off because they would leave all like makeup stains and shit on the t-shirts when they left. And yeah, it was just really weird.
I remember when like they were doing something where they were they were like holding a pencil between their shoulder blades or something to like prove how, or what was, they were putting something like their chest bone or something like that, or some weird thing. They were trying to say like, oh, if you can hold something on your chest bone or something, then you're thin enough or whatever. It's always some weird thing.
Yeah, there was another one that they did where that you would put like 100 renminbi note around your wrist as well.
Yeah.
See, I can do that, but that's because I'm small. I'm like 4'9".
I always thought it was weird. I'm like I like that Chinese women are thin. I do like that, but I think it's like Chinese women are really hard on each other about their weight, like just so hard on each other. I would see like already thin Chinese women be calling each other fat, and I'm like, wait, what? She's fat? I'm like, holy shit! Like the standards are just they're outrageously insane. So
yeah. So
oh my gosh. So alrighty, is there anything else you would like to say, Haley, or anything else? Tell us about women or anything else?
I'll just answer that question that popped up from Vlek. No, I don't think there is feet binding. I think feet binding became illegal, I don't know when, but a long, long time ago.
Oh, the feet binding thing. Holy shit. Inspector Ken says, I tell them to eat a sandwich. They need weight. They would have to eat like a rice ball.
Yeah.
Sandwiches are not super popular.
It was like also like my female colleagues like would always say they're on a diet. I'm on a diet. And we're like, you're thin enough as you are. What's your problem? Just eat a burger. God damn. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Do you have a favorite shill, Haley? Is there any, like, do you have a favorite or a favorite video from them? Do you have anything positive you can say about them? We were supposed to be positive, and it was just we got derailed and we got off of positivity. Can you be positive?
Can I be positive?
Like, how about this, Haley? I need you to say one good thing about one of the shills. You have to say something good.
Okay,
about
okay. I'll say for Jerry. I'm glad Jerry just didn't knock up his girlfriend and then run away. I'm glad he stayed and became a man and made a family and made it work. Yeah. Because actually, I say that because Randy Flag, Black and Abroad in Asia, had a video like yesterday or something about Chinese men going to Africa and knocking up the local women there and just running away. So, yeah.
I guess that is that's sort of a positive, I suppose. I think if I had to say one positive thing about any shill, I would say it about. Let me show it here, just to prove that I can be positive. I'm gonna have to choose the one. Oh, I'm failing again. Guelo 60. And the reason is because this right here, Guelo 60. I don't know if you guys can see this. He has 483 videos. And how long has it been? How long did it take him to put out these videos? 3 years. Fellas, think about that for a second here. 500 videos in 3 years. Think about that. That is some dedication. Now, of course, none of the videos mean anything, of course. And the content in them is crap, and they're not edited very well or anything. But goddamn, 2 videos a week for 3 years straight. Holy shit.
That's why he has so many videos about parks.
Yeah, when you have to make 2 videos a week consistently, you got to throw a few park videos in there, you know?
Yeah, then again, it's kind of a two-sided thing, because if you break that down, that's like a video every other day. But then again, you have to balance it out with just posting like terrible content, just like
He does.
filming for maybe 10 minutes. And
I've tried it. I tried a video a day for 30 days. Like, it sucks. The content just takes such a dive in quality, and people get so sick of seeing you. They're like, "Oh, great, another video." Meh. You know.
Oh wait, you were doing what's good about all the shills, right?
Yeah,
We
just
were doing that
one.
at the beginning of this stream. Yeah, the amazing thing that what our Lord and Savior Nathan Rich has done. Has been incredible at putting his criminal past of felonies and drug dealing behind him. It's just amazing.
Yes.
No one even paid attention to it.
He was very smart in the sense that, like, he brought it up in the earliness of his channel, and he was like, "Yeah, I was part of a cult." And you're like, "What do you mean a cult?" And just to be fair, like, you know, the Scientology people have actually contacted me, and I'm not going to say much because I don't want these like weirdos like making websites and shit about me. But like those people are, like, to his credit, like, those people are pretty nasty a lot of times, actually, you know. And I understand why he wouldn't want to be a part of Scientology. I will give him credit there, to be honest.
Yeah, then again, when you have a terrible childhood where you have to be trapped in Scientology until you're like 20, then I guess why you want trying to reinvent yourself. Your life started so badly in that case.
I just don't understand why he left one cult and went to the other. It's kind of weird for me.
That's one good way of putting it.
Fill a void, probably.
Oh yeah, you miss your cult. What do? You join another one.
That must have been crazy, you know, to be like, you know, to be the kind of like born and raised in, you know, in Scientology.
Yeah, of course, right?
That must have been the craziest drug fueled experience one could have, really. Like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, of course. Someone says Dumbrill brews beer. That's a positive. No, the thing about like Daniel Dumbrill is like this guy, his major power is that he can spend more time on Twitter than all of us combined. Okay, all of us combined. This is the only guy I know that is on Twitter 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can comment to him at any time, 2 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Doesn't matter. This guy will respond. He is there 24 hours, 7 days a week. I mean, his family, fuck him. Doesn't have time for that shit. His bar, he ain't got time for that shit, man. Fuck all that. But that Twitter, he's ready. He's ready with Twitter. I've never seen somebody more dedicated to a social media platform than Daniel Dumbrill. Holy shit. Like, I imagine that he should be sponsored by Twitter. He should just be sponsored by Twitter. There's no other. And here's the other thing. Daniel Dumbrill is so toxic on Twitter. I don't know how he doesn't get banned. Like, what is he, like, how? What magical ability does this guy have that he can be on Twitter 24 hours, 7 days a week and attack people constantly? Holy shit. The stamina of this man, the stamina. He just keeps going, just keeps going. Let's see here. Does anyone have anything nice that they want to say about the Shills? I'm about to end the stream probably within the next, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I will end the stream unless some new people want to come on. I will give one last hoorah of invite by putting it in the comment section. And if anyone wants to come and say, anything, then you're more than welcome. But like I said, I'm going to do it about 10 minutes unless someone else comes on. Let's see here. I was looking. So I'm going to kick people out. I'm going to remove Haley unless you're still here, Haley. Are you still here? Okay, I'm removing, even though she's probably still here. Oh my gosh, I'm kicking people out. All right. So, like I said, because no one is coming, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I want to thank you all for coming. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for the donation. I know I got a donation. It was a long time ago. I apologize so much for not pointing out the donation when it happened. I know it sounds shitty. I do apologize for that. But every donation is always appreciated. And I love you all so much. Thanks for coming, and have a good day, guys.